What is happening? Morning, people. It is Friday. Yeah. All right. Look at the hour. It's early. Let's crack a cold one. All right. Yeah. It's an energy drink, everybody. Don't worry. Not getting that crazy. Come on. Hold on. I got to take a sip. I did not have any coffee this morning. I need to get pumped for Friday. Refreshing. Okay. Have not really taken a deep dive into the news today. Looks like a lot of the same old we've been getting for the past couple days so far. So I'm going to dig deeper and try to find something fun. I think it's been a long and stressful week, at least for me. Oh, man. I thought I was doing good. Wednesday, made it through a couple stressful days. And then yesterday, oh, man, just kind of crushed me. So today is starting off really well. I'm optimistic, staying positive. Hopefully, I didn't jinx it by going, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. So let's party. Let's do, some old school stuff. And I will find something fun to talk about on today's Friday edition of the show. You just hang on one second here. I talked earlier this week about unsettling dreams I had that they've got to be influenced a little bit by some of the AI slop coming out as of late. Like if you saw Peach's video called Peach's Pizza, just kind of bothersome to watch. And a lot of people are using the Sora app to put out these strange videos. I haven't gotten around to doing it yet because I don't know why. There's something about it that gives me the creeps. Like if you've watched the Peach's Peach Fest video, the AI version of Peaches is very unsettling to me. There's something about it that weirds me out. I just saw another homie put up an AI video, and then I find this article about a company that is putting out this app that will let users talk to AI versions of deceased loved ones. Like, the example they use in the video is a grandmother reading a bedtime story to a child, and grandma has passed. I don't think I'd want to see AI version of my mom. It would really weird me out. Because in the dream I had, was it Monday? Yeah, Monday. Took the day off because I wasn't feeling good, and I had this weird, fever dream that went on and on and on. And I thought I was I knew I was in the dream. And usually I wake up immediately when that happens, but this one I could not wake up from it. So I thought I was dead or in a coma or something. And I would bump into people in the dream, but they were not the real versions of people that I knew. Like my girlfriend in the dream, I'm like, you're not the real you. She's like, yeah, you're just going to have to keep looking. There was just something a little bit off. Things are going to get so weird. So I know a lot of people have been like, dude, you got to make some weird Sora videos, man. People would love to see it. We know you'd make weird stuff. But I don't know, man. I think AI version of myself would give me the creeps. I've watched too much Black Mirror. By the way, didn't a new season of Black Mirror come out a while back? I don't think I even watched it. Man, I suck. I haven't been able to sit down and fully make it through almost anything I've been watching lately. I think I'm just exhausted, stressed, and I just fall asleep or get distracted. I've been wanting to watch Eddington again. Man, I think just this time of year, the holiday season, man, it's stressful. Too much to do. Everything's got to be nice. My house is a disaster, trying to get everything ready for the kids to show up, and I don't know. Just hoping today is a little bit lighter on the stress load. Yesterday, I felt at points like my head was just gonna BAM! But here we are. The morning's been good so far. So today, really good compared to pretty much every other day this week. It is only 6:37 a.m., so who knows where that's going to go. But I'm optimistic. I think I just got to avoid AI content because it's just weirding me out. You know, when it's AI versions of people I know, like Peaches is the creepiest AI person. I don't know why. There's something about the Peaches Sora videos. They are just... He's too enthusiastic. He's got this big, creepy smile. It's like a horror movie. Anyway, you should check out his videos. You want to disturb yourself. Peaches Pizza. It's like, oh, jeez. All right. I'm going to close this tab about AI grandma reading stories to little children because that, again, it's too Black Mirror for this time of day. And I haven't had enough caffeine. All right. I'm going to get myself jacked up for you people. We're going to have some fun. It's hard to find fun stories right now. Tell you what, a lot of gross stuff going around. But I'll keep trying. I'll keep digging. I am so ready for the weekend. Oh, just a day to sleep in. Hopefully. Okay. See what we got here on the internet. All right, people 30 and older, do you miss the days of no smartphones and tablets? Why or why not? We've talked about this plenty of times. There's a lot of good reasons to miss the days of before, I should say, smartphones and tablets. I miss the days before cell phones, period. Just because you could, leave. Just leave your house and no one would bother you. I mean, I do my best to keep up on my messages. Jade and Josh, they were going crazy messaging me last night. I think I have 19 texts that I need to catch up on. I was busy. I didn't have time. Probably thought I'm ignoring them. And it's probably a bunch of weird AI slop that's going to, contribute to bizarre dream states. Because they know it bothers me. I mean, I enjoy watching the weird AI slop, but they know it's starting to mess with my brain. Well, let's see. Do the majority of people miss the days of no smartphones and tablets? I mean, I'll tell you, the internet was way better before it was on phones. It was all nerds. All nerds. You had to know how to use a computer to get on the internet. And it sure cut down on the stupid. Let's see. House parties with no phones were so much better than being within the lens of a dozen cameras. Yeah. I mean, and now at parties, half the people staring at their phones anyway. I mean, there are a few benefits to, having a smartphone. Obviously, you got a computer in your pocket and, when you're standing in line bored, you got something to do if you didn't carry a book with you everywhere you go. But also, I think it makes time go by quicker. I think just having to sit there and think, just sit there inside of your own mind, I think that's good for people. Little bit of self-reflection. People don't have that anymore. They've got to be entertained at every second. Just having the ability to just sit, relax, and just be bored. I think that was good for people. Because people are just so antsy now. And even me. For me to just sit there and read a book, it's gotten to be so difficult. And I have 10 million books I want to read. I don't know what I need to do. I need to win the lottery. Because I think if I had that extra 8 hours a day to just do nothing, or I guess it'd be 9 hours a day, because you got to have that lunch break. I don't know. I think I might be able to correct my brain. Snap it out of the constant need for, activity in front of my face. Because my job here, I'm sitting there just scouring the internet, trying to find crap to talk with you about. Oh, I don't think it's good. Okay, what What are other reasons that people miss the days prior to smartphones, aside from house parties, I guess being better? Okay, this person misses flip phone days, but not days without cell phones. Trust me, if you were alive during the days when there were no cell phones, you'd get it. You'd get why it was awesome. Now, for emergency situations, obviously, I enjoy having a cell phone. If you're out and about and you're in trouble, it's great. If you need to get a hold of your kids, it's great. But there was something about being able to just check out and you'd be gone. Nobody could find you. Nobody could bother you. Now, you leave your phone at home, like a panic sets in. At least I think for most people, right? This person misses their longer attention span. Absolutely. I think it would be a good activity to just force yourself to, I don't know, like for 15 minutes a day, just sit there in silence. Just sit there in silence and let your brain go. Just stare at the wall. Stare at the clock. Yeah? Like when you were in school. Yeah, this person right here says they feel like future generations will never experience being truly bored. Because you did have to figure out ways to entertain yourself. You had to, at bare minimum, like, read a book. Have to flip through the cable channels. I guess now you scroll through 10 million amazing options to watch, and you can't just pick one. Back in the day, you had to settle, and you were probably in the middle of the show. It sucked. Let's see here. This person misses the days when buying something meant you owned it. Yeah, I get that. I always buy the hard copy if I can of like video games or movies or whatever. It's nice to have them around. Books. I enjoy having the hard copies of books, even though I do like Kindles. This person says, nobody has manners in public anymore. Nobody's present. People are always on their phone. Well, you do have less of a chance of getting bothered by weirdos now. I'll give you that. Back in the day, people were bored. Like, well, I guess maybe I'll try to talk to the strangers around me. Well, please don't. Let's go to the phones here. K-Bear, you are live on the program. Keep that in mind. Who's this?
This is Gary.
Gary, what's up? What's on your mind, man?
Oh, you're just talking about the cell phone thing.
Yeah.
I miss the days of having privacy. You can't do anything without somebody recording it.
Yeah.
Or
that is true. I think it could I don't know. Has it led to better behavior? Or are we just seeing?
No, we're just seeing how stupid we all are is all it is. And
yeah.
That and socially it's changed everybody. This younger generation is just so socially awkward. And I blame most of it on the stupid cell phone. They don't have to interact with people.
Yeah, they do communicate in a completely different manner. That's for sure. A lot of, they could be sitting in the same room texting each other. I've watched my kids do that, and, it's interesting. Thankfully, I encouraged them to get out and actually do things. They do online gaming where they're actually talking with people and things like that. But, yeah, it has made the world a much stranger place. And, I think it's made people a little bit more aggressive too. So.
Oh, absolutely. I agree with you. And it's changing who these kids are and people are, and then the last thing is the spread of false information. Oh my gosh. The first thing when my kids ask me something or say something, I'm like, I said, Facebook is not a news organization. TikTok is not Walter Cronkite. I mean, leave it. Go look around, and they believe this stuff. It's just made people dumber. It just really has.
Oh, yeah. I could fire up Facebook right now, probably scroll for 2 seconds and find something that is just completely made up. Or vice versa. People won't believe things that are real. Because,
they don't. An example in our genre that we're dealing with right now is a friend of mine called me or texted me, I don't know, about a month ago, freaking out because Metallica announced they were done touring and this, that, and the other, and and he's like, we got to go to this tour. So it took me 3 seconds to do a little research and figure out he's full of it, and he doesn't, take the time to look it up. It's just people's brains automatically go to what it says, and it's making us dumber. It is. And lastly, we're now losing jobs because of it. The phone, the internet, all that's taking over. Your iPhone, your Samsung is 100 times more powerful than the first shuttle that went up.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean,
and it's scary.
It really is. And as this AI stuff advances, I mean, for false information, one, it's scary, but the amount of jobs that are going to get wiped out, it's nuts. It's nuts.
It is. And that'll just make them lazier and dumber and just more handouts and take care of me. And you know what? I want to take care of Gary, and that's it. I've worked my whole life, 53. My money's my money. You go out and earn yours, and it's just making it tougher for them. So
yeah, I feel terrible for young people right now. I mean, there are so many people going to college for, different fields that you want to talk to them and be like that field's that's not going to get you anywhere in who knows, maybe even a year. Simply because of AI wiping things out. I wouldn't encourage kids to get into radio right now. That's for sure.
No, it's tough. I mean, it's a lot of yours is computers that you're running. That means a computer can run the computers. So. Oh,
and I, had a friend hit me up the other day that was asking about doing voice acting and things like that. And I was like, do you know how many of the commercials you're hearing that are not real voices? I would not even attempt to get into voice acting right now. It's all being replaced by AI.
Other than Victor's boss, it don't work at K-Bear, so you keep real people, guys. So
I hope so. I cannot be duplicated.
No, you can't. Thank goodness. So.
Well, appreciate it, Gary.
All right, brother. I got to go do my real job here while I still got it.
All right, man. Well, good luck. Hope you have a great weekend as well.
I think we're going to head to Salt Lake and maybe go see the Little Pete Memorial concert they got going on at the complex. So.
Oh, right on. I think we're going to head down and see Thrice tomorrow night. So.
Where's that at?
That is at the Union Event Center. So,
maybe I'll see you there instead, because I'm not a Little Pete fan. My wife is. But,
yeah, I think I'd be going to Thrice myself.
That sounds like a better option. As long as they're not AI, I'll be there probably.
Yeah, it should be legit. And both Jade and I are planning on being there, so it should be a good time.
Awesome. Well, I'll see if I can find you, and you're not hard to spot. So
yeah, it shouldn't be too hard. Jade, just look for the ridiculous beard. He dyed his hair black and put a red streak in it. He's trying to be a kid again. We're both dealing with a midlife crisis, I guess.
Good for him. You know what? Do it. Amen. Be yourself.
Cool, man. Well, maybe we'll see you there.
Have a great weekend.
You too, man. Peace.
All right. Bye.
All right, look at that. It's already after 7 o'clock. I hope this day goes by fast. I have had it with this week. And yeah, if you're going to Thrice tomorrow, look for me and Jade. That is the plan. Unless I have a complete mental breakdown tomorrow and I just can't leave my house. Which, based on how this week's been so far, it's possible. You never know. But I don't know. I think it would be nice to get away, even though I would have to hang out with Jade. That's iffy. All right, Stuart sent me a news report that I guess we're just going to check it out together here. Shouldn't have any bad language because it's the news, but I guess you never know. From Fox 8 in, I don't know where this is. Let's just click play.
We're just joking about the deer running across the field until we realized that it was headed straight for the building.
It is just before the start of the school day at Amherst Junior High School on Thursday, when 3 deer sprint toward the building, and one of them suddenly jumps through a window outside the cafeteria.
Media concern was who is in the cafeteria, and is there anyone anywhere near the window that
There was someone near the window. It would have been so much better if it was a packed cafeteria. I've talked many times about how I used to make fun of people in Pocatello talking about aggressive deer up in the hills. Like, it's a deer, come on. Until I saw an aggressive deer in Pocatello, huffing and stomping, big antlers. And deer are pretty big up close. And had it charged me, I bet it could have just beat the crap out of me. Anyway, let's get back to this report about a deer breaking into a school.
The deer jumped through.
It turns out a student was sitting at a table next to the window and was hit by the flying glass. But she and another student were able to scramble away. The staff at the school quickly realized that they had to make sure the deer did not harm itself or anyone else. so they closed off the area around the cafeteria. The deer struggled to keep its footing on the slippery floor, but eventually walked down a narrow hallway.
Yeah, deer, it doesn't look like they deal with tile floor very well, or whatever that is, linoleum. I don't know. I'm not a flooring expert.
To be quite frank with you, when the deer went through the window, I happened to see, so I knew exactly what the sound and the commotion was, but I don't think that was the experience for everybody. I think there was concern that it was maybe something a little bit more serious than a deer jumping through a window.
Yeah, that kid who took all the broken glass to the face, I'm sure he was a little bit at first. That would have to be terrifying. And then I would imagine the sounds that a deer makes as it runs amok through a school, it's got to be pretty loud. It's got to sound kind of crazy.
The deer was still running loose inside the building, but we are told school resource officer Brian Bowers and other staff members were able to carefully herd the animal toward an exit.
Okay, this news reporter guy, I don't know why he's weirding me out. It's something about his inflection. I don't even know if I could do an impression of it. He's doing news guy voice. And when they finally showed him on screen right there, he's wearing like this brown coat and jeans. Not your typical, I don't know what it was about his look, but is that guy AI? Anything anymore? I'm like, is this an AI person? Why does he look that way? Why does he look kind of weird to me?
Witnesses say the deer seemed as relieved as the students, teachers, and staff that she was no longer trapped inside the school.
Just grateful that the adults in the building were able to spring to action and make sure that all of our students and staff were safe and that the deer was able to exit the building without major issue.
Principal Andy Hoffman says he is especially proud of the way the young student nearest the window reacted to the four-footed intruder and handled the shock that came with a highly unusual incident.
He got up and he ran.
In true kid fashion, they are way more resilient than us as adults. She handled it with grace and bravery, and she did amazing.
Jack Shea, Fox 8 News in Amherst.
Jack Shea, Fox 8 News in Amherst. News guy voice. Yeah, people always ask us, so what? How do you do your radio voice? And it's like this is just how I talk. Okay. Now, if I started talking like the guy from Fox News 8 in Amherst, then I was putting on a voice. I wish I had a different sounding voice. It just is what it is. So you can meet me in person. I'm going to talk the exact same way. Why do people use a fake voice? Can you imagine if you met that guy? Hey, how's it going? Who are you? I'm Greg from Fox News 8 in Amherst. Oh, cool. So, what you got going on this weekend? I'm going to head down to Salt Lake City and check out Thrice live at the Union Event Center. Why are you talking that way? This is how I talk, always. What a weirdo. All right, 7:40. Day needs to go by quicker, but it could be worse. Could be worse. All right. Trying to dig up some freak news. There's a lot of it. Man, when you're scrolling Facebook and there's these memes popping up and you're like, what is this meme about? And then you get looking around and you're like, whoa. But none of it, is stuff I'm going to bring to the radio show. At least I'm getting some laughs. It is getting weird out there. So yeah, I'm trying. I'm sure I'll be able to find some freak news stories that are appropriate for air and aren't going to get a portion of the audience freaking out at me. It's a wild morning. Okay, let's see here. What can we talk about in the meantime? What age did you start college? Is 25 too late? I'll tell you this. I remember when I was a kid, my grandma, she went to college as a grandmother. It's never too late. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing you got to keep in mind, though. I was actually talking with a caller about this earlier on the show. If you're going to go to college right now, make sure you get into some kind of field that the jobs aren't going to be wiped out by AI. which are a lot of different fields. Let's take a look here. Job fields likely to be replaced by AI. Okay, this one says the top 65 jobs safest from AI and robot automation. Let's see what we got here. All right, a lot of things in the medical and mental health field, it would appear. Nurse practitioners, physician assistants, mental health counselors. Yeah, you've seen what happens when people take advice from AI at this point, have a psychological breakdown, get hospitalized. And be careful watching that AI slop. I'm pretty sure it's starting to do weird stuff to my brain. That's why I still haven't caught up on all of the text messages from Josh and Jade yesterday. I know there's going to be some weird stuff in there. Let's see. Coaches, athletic trainers, physical therapists. Yeah, you want a robot cracking your back and things like that. And physical therapists can make pretty good wages as well. Yeah, a lot of different counselors, therapists of a variety of fields. Social workers, that's going to be tough on your mental health, but the world does need social workers, and they're probably underpaid. Mental health and substance abuse counselors, bioengineers, psychology teachers. If you're thinking about going back to school, make sure to bring up this list. Back when I was growing up, back in my day, when I was a kid, everybody wanted to get into computer-related jobs. Those are not looking good right now. Anything with programming or coding or anything like that, I don't know if I'd be monkeying with that. Now, I'm no expert here, but there is this list here of jobs that if you want to be secure, and avoid possibly being replaced by a robot, you should probably take a look at this. All I did was Google job fields likely to be replaced by AI, and it brought up the top 65 safest jobs. So check that kind of stuff out. Got to prepare for the future. The future's getting strange. Trust me, I'm in a job field that is not a good job field to be in. If you're worried about being replaced by AI, you wouldn't believe how many voices you hear on TV and on the internet and on the radio are not real people. What about me? Am I real? If you've never met me, you don't know. I could be AI. Oh! Sadly, much as I say, I can't be duplicated, I'm sure AI is going to get to be good enough that I could be duplicated. Oh, it would make my day so easy. Just have the robot version of myself. I just sit at the computer, type in a prompt. All right, I need to talk about blank and make sure to make it sound like me. Throw in some flubs, make it sound like I'm live and sucking and, maybe grouchy and stressed. And then AI just does it. Be great. It's likely to happen. That's why I just try to do as much as I can around here. Got to stay busy. All right, we'll get to that freak news here in just a few. I hope your morning is going good. Power through. Get through another day. Relaxation and peace will come at some point, right? Yes. Staying optimistic because I'm caffeinated. Where to begin with freak news today? All right, I guess we'll talk about AI toys. A lot of AI talk on the show today. I think that's going to be the future of radio. If you're not an AI person yourself, talking about AI. Yeah, I guess this study is warning parents about AI toys that, they can start telling your kids some pretty messed up stuff. Because again, it's AI. Yeah. Giving kids advice on where they could find matches or knives. Act mad when you say you have to leave. And some have limited or no parental controls. Yeah, based on the fact that ChatGPT alone is causing people to have psychological breakdowns, to the point where they need to be hospitalized. Probably shouldn't have AI integrated in toys yet, and until we can really dial these things in to ensure they're not giving kids advice on topics that should be left up to parents to deal with. I'm not even going to get into some of the things that these folks were able to get some of these AI toys to say to children, but it's just not good, all right? Getting a little bit explicit and dangerous, so might want to just think about that with the upcoming Christmas holiday. Sometimes sticking with the old-fashioned toys is, the better route. And speaking of kids, I guess there are some places that don't understand that if you tell kids don't do something that seems silly, the kids are just going to do it more. Resource officer, can I talk? Let's see you duplicate that, AI. Just terrible flubs live on air. I'm sure it could do it. Anyway, resource officers with the Tippecanoe County Sheriff's Office in Indiana cracking down on the popular phrase 6'7". Posted a video to their Facebook page letting people know there's a new county ordinance passed by the sheriff saying it's illegal to say 6'7", because they're trying to help keep parents sane during this time. And so they showed up in class, and then they start giving these kids a ticket for using the phrase 6'7". And of course, then the kids take selfies and are like, check it out, I got a ticket for 6'7". And now every kid's going to want to have a ticket for it. So, yeah, good luck on that one working out. What you need to do if you want kids to stop doing this is you need to have all the parents and teachers start doing it, okay? You have to make it not cool. Why can't people figure this out? Do you not remember being kids? Think back, okay? If something was not cool and your parents were doing it, you're not going to do it. So if you've got kids, just start relentlessly going 6'7", and you move your hands around. I mean, I don't get it, but it's very popular, very popular. All right, over in Europe, this is frightening. Makes me yet again want to avoid air travel at all costs. A fake captain used forged credentials to fly hundreds of plane passengers. Yeah. This guy, how do you get away with this? I guess things are different overseas, or you would hope. I mean, around here, you know what it's like to try to get on a plane, period, as a passenger. Yeah, apparently able to just mosey on in. I'm the captain now. And then he flew. Now, there are a lot of video games like Flight Simulator and such where you can learn fairly accurately, I think, how to generally control a plane, but I think they need stricter regulations and, security checks. Some rando just flying your plane. And what's crazy, he seemed to do just fine, like the guy who stole the bus we talked about yesterday and was just driving people around, dropping off passengers, picking people up. He's just joyriding. And the cops are like, well, he did really good. What do you do in that situation? I'd say give him a job. I mean, have you seen some of the recent news reports about air travel? There have been some problems. Maybe some of these rogue captains, maybe you give them a second shot, right? If they're doing a good job. No, don't do that, people, okay? Even if you consider yourself an expert on flying because you relentlessly play Microsoft Flight Simulator, don't steal airplanes, okay? Let's try to keep people safe. Plus, you're going to delay my flight. And when people delay my flight, I'm furious. All right, it's 8 o'clock. We're going to get into some other stupid things because that's what we do on this show. Then we got traffic school in about 40 minutes. Get those questions ready 208-535-1015 will be the number to call. If you're listening to the on-demand version of this show in the future, I post Traffic School separately. So just look for that under the Victor Wilt Show, anywhere podcasts can be found, or search for Traffic School. Yeah, you can listen on Spotify. Do you want to listen to hundreds of hours of my beautiful voice? It's out there. It's out there for your enjoyment. You can listen 24/7. You could be a real creep and just have me on in the background all day. There's hundreds of hours. How did I miss this important news? This day in history that happened 2 days ago. One of the most amazing stories out of the Pacific Northwest. Peaches, I'm sure I told you about this at some point, but the famous story out of Florence, Oregon, when a whale washed up on the beach and they decided to deal with it with dynamite.
We've talked about this story before.
Yes. Yeah, I tend to bring it up each year because it's a legendary event in this region of the country.
When you said famous story out of the Pacific Northwest, for some reason, my mind went to the Dave Matthews Band Poopgate.
That would have been in Chicago.
Yes.
That would be famous story out of the Midwest. And I tend to talk about that one every year as well because it's one of the most amazing music-related news stories of all time. So I figured in honor of the 55-year anniversary of Oregon State's plan to obliterate a beached whale with dynamite, we'd play the original news broadcast discussing it because to me, it's really funny. Enjoy.
It had to be said, the Oregon State Highway Division not only had a whale of a problem on its hands, it had a stinking whale of a problem. What to do with one 45-foot, 8-ton whale dead on arrival on the beach near Florence.
It had been so long since a whale had washed up in Lane County, nobody could remember how to get rid of one. In selecting its battle plan, the Highway Division decided the carcass couldn't be buried because it might soon be uncovered. It couldn't be cut up and then buried because nobody wanted to cut it up, and it couldn't be burned. So dynamite it was, some 20 cases or a half ton of it. The hope was that the long-dead Pacific gray whale would be almost disintegrated by the blast, and that any small pieces still around after the explosion would be taken care of by seagulls and other scavengers. Indeed, the seagulls had been standing nearby all day. As everything was being made ready, we asked George Thornton, the highway engineer in charge of the project, for his final observation.
Well, I'm confident that it'll work. The only thing is we're not sure just exactly how much explosives it'll take to disintegrate this thing, so the scavengers, seagulls, and crabs and whatnot can clean it up.
Is there any chance it might be more than a one-day job?
If there's any large chunks left, and we may have to do some other cleanup, possibly set another charge.
The dynamite was buried primarily on the leeward side of the big mammal, so as most of the remains would be blown toward the sea. About 75 bystanders, most of them residents who had first found the whale to be an object of curiosity before they tired of its smell, were moved back a quarter of a mile away. The sand dunes there were covered with spectators and land lubber newsmen, shortly to become land blubber newsmen, for the blast blasted blubber beyond all believable bounds.
Did you get a while?
Here we go.
All right, Fred, you can take your hands out of your ears. Here comes cases of...
Our cameras stopped rolling immediately after the blast. The humor of the entire situation suddenly gave way to a run for survival as huge chunks of whale blubber fell everywhere. Pieces of meat passed high over our heads while others were falling at our feet. The dunes were rapidly evacuated as spectators escaped both the falling debris and the overwhelming smell. A parked car over a quarter of a mile from the blast site was the target of one large chunk. The passenger compartment literally smashed. Fortunately, no human was hit as badly as the car. However, everyone on the scene was covered with small particles of dead whale. As for the success of the effort, well, the seagulls who were supposed to clean things up were nowhere in sight, either scared away by the explosion or kept away by the smell. That didn't really matter. The remaining chunks were of such a size that no respectable seagull would attempt to tackle anyway. As darkness began to set in, the highway crews were back on the beach burying the remains, including a large piece of the carcass which never left the blast site. It might be concluded that should a whale ever wash ashore in Lane County again, those in charge will not only remember what to do, they'll certainly remember what not to do.
I just love that story. You got the news broadcaster from back in the 70s, got that 70s hair, and then you just see the people go, ah, as the giant chunks are falling from the sky, and it must have just reeked.
There was an old joke on the Fairly Odd Parents about blubber nuggets and how they would just eat these blubber nuggets made out of whale, and that's what that made me think of.
I wonder if it came from that. Blubber nuggets. And
chewy.
You can go to Florence, Oregon, and they have a spot on the beach where they have a plaque in memory of this legendary event. Great place to take a selfie. If you've never visited the Oregon coast, it's one of my favorite places on the planet. I don't know if I'd want to be on site during that kind of event. But,
do they have a statue? Do they have a statue of the whale?
I think it's just a plaque.
It'd be great if they just had a nice golden nugget.
Just a big gold whale blubber chunk.
Yes.
On top of a smashed car.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're looking for a nice family destination, visit the Oregon coast, visit Florence, and check out that legendary site. Again, in about 15 minutes, we got Traffic School powered by the Advocates coming up. So hope you'll join us for that. Ask some questions. It's always fun. You can make bets with your friends, win some money. Because if you're a longtime listener, you probably know the answers to the questions. I consistently see people fighting about topics in the Life in Idaho Falls Facebook group. And every once in a while, I'll chime in and be like, no, you're wrong. But generally, I try to encourage people to just call the program every Friday morning at 8:45. So get ready for that. I think I need to take a vacation to England. Now, I'd be down to take a vacation anywhere. I think I need to just mentally check out for a while. I just need to sit, read a book, enjoy some peace and quiet, avoid reality. But I guess if I go to England, I'm going to have to get out on the streets, get out on the beaches, and I'm going to have to get a metal detector because people are finding treasure at record rates in England right now. Now, I don't know if you get to keep them because they might be like, oh, this is a historical artifact, blah, 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 blah. But people are finding stuff, extremely valuable gold coins and things like that. And they've even got a map right in front of me, like, here's the hot spot to find treasure. Now, I don't know where you go around here if you want to find treasure. Out near the old gold mines and things, kind of dangerous. But they are neat. Like if you've never been to the Stanley area, been up to the old gold dredge, it's kind of disgusting. Not the gold dredge itself, but what it did to, what's the name of that river there? The Yankee Fork. Nah. You want to see nature destroyed in the name of money. It's interesting, but it's crazy. Making that drive up to the old gold dredge and just looking at what they did. Holy cow. Still pretty cool, though. And then they got the old ghost towns and things out there. Probably getting to be the wrong time of year to go do that. I don't know what the weather's like in the Stanley area right now. Probably not good. But I think the weather's generally bad in the UK, all the time. So, if you're going to go hunt for treasure, the mountains around here are as good as anywhere, I suppose. But you got to go where there were people, unless you want to bust out the gold pan. All right. I'm going to plot my treasure hunting trip. Kind of funny, Peaches just sent me a story that I have had opened in a tab for a while this morning. Kind of a backup story, I can't find anything else to talk about. I guess we'll talk about Disney Plus launching an AI-generated user content feature. That's right. You want to fight Darth Vader? put yourself in that. I don't know exactly how this is going to work, but I talked earlier about how I haven't put myself into the AI app that Peaches has been using to make those crazy videos. What's the name of that app again, Peaches? Sora. See, all these apps have like a similar name, Suno, Sora. So I'm like, what is it, Sunru? I can't remember.
The new app, Subaru.
Yeah, yes. So I've only read through part of this article, but from what I understand, you'd be able to like, put yourself into, say, Star Wars and things like that, and use, program Darth Vader to do certain things.
But you can't like go over the top with it, right? Like you can't have me beating up Carl from Up.
See, yeah, if you're gonna do it, Disney, you have to make it fun so that people will want to use it. Did
you see the whole news story about how Michael Caine just signed his voice over to 11 Labs?
Yeah, and there was somebody else who did along with him.
So that means Michael Caine can now do the K-Bear promos for us.
That's right. Yep. I know.
This is Michael Caine.
I was talking earlier about how, a lot of people don't realize in movie trailers, YouTube videos, commercials, how many voices nowadays are AI generated voices. Mm-hmm. Tons. Tons of the ads you hear on any radio station you listen to are AI voices. And it'd be hilarious to be using Michael Caine and other voices that from celebrities in our K-Bear promos.
We got to use him to host Jenk Show, as a matter of fact. So can I go find his voice and have him host Jenk Show for us?
Dude, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
This is my favorite band, Sepultura.
Well, it's like, local radio personality Brad Barlow, has his voice available on 11 Labs.
But he had like the weird thing where he was doing not only his regular voice, but he was also doing like your favorite boyfriend voice, and
that was
Johnny Dynamite, the 80s pukey radio DJ voice.
Yeah, he didn't really go with his standard talking voice, but we still had him host a Jank Show.
Yeah, we had him whisper
on another radio station in town.
We had him whisper sweet nothings in your ear in between metal songs.
Yeah, I wonder what they pay to license your voice. I'm gonna have to hit up Brad and ask him, because if the payday is good enough, I'd do it. I don't give a crap. I mean, that's one of the reasons I haven't put myself on Sora is, you said you can make it so it's not public.
Yeah,
but it would be fun to make it public. But I don't think
plenty of celebrities are, and what's really funny is, Mark Cuban, the former owner. I think he's now again the owner of the Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah.
The other owner, long story short, made a terrible trade. Traded Luka Doncic to the Lakers. And so people are making AI videos of Mark Cuban crying at Luka Doncic's front door, begging for him to come back to Dallas. And yeah, Mark made his thing public. Same with this other guy that's named Ricky Burnwick. I believe that's how you say his name. He's the guy in the wheelchair that's really funny. Mr. Beast, I think, might have made his public. I think Jake Paul made his public, and now he regrets it. Because the whole series
the
of
Jake
videos.
Paul videos are hilarious because he's just like bawling and getting arrested.
I'd find it funny. I'd be like, come on, come up with some crazy prompt.
Yeah, it says here that your earnings are determined by how often your voice clone is used to generate speech, and the default rate is around is it 3 cents? 3 cents per 1,000 characters. So
wow, so that's really nothing.
Yeah, it says you're
basically a Spotify artist.
Pretty much, yeah. And then once you reach a minimum threshold of about $10, then you start earning, a good amount of money. I don't know. Maybe it pays off. I don't know how many companies are using 11 Labs, but I know it's a decent amount.
It'd be weird to hear AIU like on a commercial somewhere else.
Yeah. Because I'd have to upload, crazy versions of my voice, me being loud, Chad.
Can you say if you or a loved one were diagnosed with mesothelioma?
It's that hard word, mesothelioma. Dude, what I should do is license my voice to 11 Labs and then script my show every day with it.
Absolutely.
And then get myself extra money to do my show every day. Just paying myself to use the show.
Infinite money glitch right there.
Dude, infinite money glitch.
This is Victor Wilt.
Yeah, wow. Because 1,000 characters, that's not very much speech.
Boy, I am tired.
And I like to blabber on for a long time sometimes.
And you can have Chat GPT come up with the script for the morning show.
Well, yeah, exactly. I wouldn't even have to put in any effort at all. I'd be like, hey, Chat GPT, put this from the perspective of Victor Wilt, and I want to talk about this subject. Give me about 100,000 characters, please.
I'm here to tell you about my political agenda, the blue wave.
All right, everybody. Time to take a break. I got to get my money-making scheme going. We'll be back. Got a little bit distracted because I was looking at this weird picture of these two strange people, Josh and Chantel from down the hall. They're holding looks like hot cocoa and letting everybody know 7 days till Christmas music. 7 days till Christmas music. Yeah. If you're in the mood, me and Josh, we got that classy Christmas library all lined up in the last few weeks, and it's the best place to go for a Christmas music library, okay? I know the playlists that are available on Spotify. I know the ones available on YouTube. They suck compared to what we line up. So let your family and friends know. Good time to download the Classy 97 app if they want to check out Christmas music. Those of you listening from outside of the market, Classy 97, that's what you're going to want to fire up in a week if you want to have Christmas joy throughout the holiday season, all right? Because it's programmed by me and Josh. And, I mean, come on, you're a K-Bear listener. You know how good we do it around here. I put that same kind of effort into all of our stations. All right, I'm going to get out of here for a few. Peaches and I will be back at noon for the noon hour of Madness and Mayhem. I got a lot of crap to get done because it's Friday, and I am ready for the weekend. Thank you again for tuning in to The Victor Wilt Show. This program is a production of Riverbend Media Group. To contact the show or for more information, hit us up at riverbendmediagroup.com.